Hey everybody, I see some familiar faces here. Welcome back. We decided that we've had a absolutely amazing last couple weeks of growth here for our community. So we felt that we needed to put together an updated MDIIO A-Z event, kind of just giving you guys a bit of a run through on how it is to just kind of best use the system, and then how to then take that and get your music up and ready for licensing on Hyperaudio. We're getting this day-to-day updates, but we've had more than 10,000 searches through Hyperaudio in less than a week since it's been launched. So we're very, very excited. And we also, I don't know if any of you guys did it, and we're waiting to get all of the final numbers back, but we have about 200 placements in a show called $1 Billion Idea that is airing tonight at 9 p.m. When I say 200 placements, I mean in total across the whole series that we provided all of the music for. Our members, you guys provided all of the music for. So we're very excited about that. And we look to be doing more partnerships like that with more television shows. So their goal is to come in and search and discover music through Hyperaudio and then license those songs on your behalf. So I hope that everybody here makes a ton of money. That is the goal here. Let's all become millionaires in the next year, okay, because of Hyperaudio. Agreed? Okay, great. Let's move forward. I'm going to share my screen here, you guys. We are also recording this so that you know, for the purposes of rebroadcast. We're also going to be chopping a little bit up into segments for easier, more bite-sized consumption of little quick things that you do. So look, MDIIO, as some of you know, does a lot of things. MDIIO stands for Music Data Intelligence in and out. Now, if you guys have logged in, you've seen a page similar to this. My page is obviously quite established here. So we'll just use mine as an example. So this is our main front page. On this page, you can do almost everything that you need to do of importance within the platform, almost. So once you upload a song, let's just start from there actually. Uploading a song is really easy. You know, you can do this, add tracks, select tracks from your playlist, right? Select those tracks. Let's say I wanted to select tracks. I can go to my projects. I'm going to pick, let's see, a Cedric Burnside here, Be This Bad. I'm going to grab that, open that up, and that is going to upload in the background. Now I can close that, and that's still uploading in the background. So I can go on and do all kinds of other work. I can do searches or whatever I want to do. That eventually is going to pop up. My page is going to refresh, and that song is going to show up. Now, in the meantime, as you've already brought songs in, you can then start to create playlists by searching and discovering all of that music. So let's say I wanted to find hip hop. I'm just going to search hip hop, right? So I can find all of my songs that have been tagged hip hop. But now let's say I want to find hip hop. I'm just going to look at something down here that is also female, right? So I want to find hip hop female songs. So I can then go and search that. Let's say I want to go hip hop female songs that I wrote specifically with Stella. I can go hip hop. Oops. I need to do the space there. Hip hop, female, Stella. Here comes all of the other songs now that I've written. Hip hop, female, Stella. Let's say I wanted to, I'm going to open this song right here. Let's say I wanted to find hip hop, female, Stella. Did I write anything with Stella that specifically references, I don't know, we're just going to pick this word here, Amex, right? So I'm going to go back here. Do I have anything that is specifically hip hop, female, Stella, Amex, right? Oh, well, we just saw it. That's weird. Anyway, it does search lyrics, little bug we're going to go catch. So the point is, once I've discovered and found all of my songs, I can now go create a playlist. Pitch track, pitch track, pitch track. So now you can see I've added this over here into pitch tracks. I can do one of two things. I can say Stella hip hop songs, right? Let's say, and then I can create that playlist. I'm going to create that playlist. You'll see at the bottom here, playlist added. We'll come back to that in a moment. But what I want to show you about these songs specifically is over here, you see this little button that is now grayed out. It says add to Hyperaudio. Okay. This means that this song is not available on Hyperaudio. It cannot be searched and discovered and licensed. So if you are uploading your song and you want that song to be available on Hyperaudio, you do this. Click, click, and click. Now that you can see that that is now shaded in, and now that song is available on Hyperaudio. It says publish to Hyperaudio. It's really as simple as that. If you want to take the song off Hyperaudio, you click that, the song disappears. It is no longer on Hyperaudio. Remove from Hyperaudio. Done. Really, really simple. That's how you opt in and out. Super, super easy. Let's clean that back up. As you can see, Be This Bad, that was the song that I just uploaded in the background. I'm going to open this song up right now. There's very little metadata that's been attached, but there is a couple things that I want you to see. We already know that it's called Be This Bad, and we already know who the artist is. Why do we know who the artist is? Because that information was actually already embedded in your metadata in your MP3. So if you have any information that's already pre-embedded, that gets translated and adopted when it comes into our platform. So what's also happening in the background is this song is being analyzed so that when it's ready, it can be discoverable on Hyperaudio. I want to show you a couple things and how you add your own metadata. There's a button here. Click that button. It opens up this dialog box that allows you to enter specific data. What does it sound like or similar to? I think it sounds a bit like Kebmo, actually, right? Again, I can use that as a search. Don't worry about key. We're going to figure that out for you. Don't worry about instruments. We're going to figure that out for you. Don't worry about time signature. We're going to figure that out for you. I, of course, think everything that I do is a 5 out of 5. My mom thinks it's a 5 out of 5. My wife sometimes thinks it's a 3 out of 5, but, I don't trust her that much. Don't worry about BPMs. We'll do that for you. This is where it gets kind of fun. You can add your own individual tags. It is male, right? It is blues. It is bluesy. I didn't spell that right. Hold on a moment. It is bluesy, right? You can keep going down all of these. It's mid-tempo. If you can't think of what the word is, you can just literally it's old school. It's whatever this is. Let's see. Well, you can see we have over, I think, 60 or 70 different tags that you can add to it. It is, we'll say bebop, whatever. I continue moving down. I've already added my publisher information, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. I've already added my PRO information, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. Now, can I make this track public? Yes. Do I want to make it downloadable? Yes. Do I want to add it, for my case, in particular, to a particular catalog? I do. Save. I'm going to save that information now. You can see all of this metadata and information has now been embedded into the audio. So when somebody goes and downloads your song, all of this information comes down with it. Let's say I want to say, oh, well, I want to add some additional data, right? For licensing, please contact Jay Gray at, there it is, MDIIO.com, right? Boom, done. I'm going to save that information. That's all there. Now let's say I want to add a collaborator to that information, right? I'm going to say, I'm going to add my collaborator. I'm going to add, I don't know, let's see if Jesse Weeks is on the platform. We're about to, oh, you found him. We are going to add Jesse Weeks to our platform. I've now added Jesse as a collaborator to the song. So when Jesse goes into his profile, he does everything that I just did. He doesn't have to do. All of this information will already be there for him. He does not have to do anything else, right? I'm going to go and edit those splits now. So I'm going to say I wrote 50%. Jesse wrote 50%. I'm going to save those splits. So when Jesse goes into his profile, he's going to see this song. He's going to see the splits. He can then go, if he wanted to, and add the lyrics. Hi, Jesse. Right? So he can then go and add those lyrics, and we co-share this lyric. We co-share all of this information that you see here on the page, right? We can even collaborate and communicate together. I love this song. Post that tweak. We can now communicate directly within each song's page. So that's just a little bit how you create a song and start tracking all of the metadata. But I want to go back here for a moment. So here's the first song that we did, Be This Bad. You can see here the Hyperaudio button is already lit up. Just so that you know, we are assuming that most people are going to want to opt in to Hyperaudio as they're uploading their music, right? You may choose not to. Why would you choose not to? Maybe the song is still only in a demo format. That's possible, and you don't want your demo to be pitched. That's a good reason to opt out. But in most cases, we have opted you automatically into Hyperaudio. But again, it's as simple as that. It's now been removed. It's now been opted back in. So if somebody is coming to find something that's mid-tempo, male, old school, bluesy, bebop, or blues, they're going to find this song. They're going to license this song. And if you guys haven't seen Hyperaudio, I'm going to show you how that works too, because you don't even have to worry about how you tag your music. You can use that for only discovery within your own personal database. Hyperaudio removes all of that. You don't have to worry about any of that. Hyperaudio takes a YouTube link, an MP3, or a SoundCloud link and uses that, analyzes that, and then finds the songs that correspond to that. But here's what I wanted to show you really quick. I'm going to, just for fun, add this back to this playlist here. So I'm going to say, what did I say? Stella Bluesy Songs. We're just going to name that playlist real quick. I'm going to create that playlist. Playlist added. So now I can go here. I'm going to show you a couple things. One is we'll skip that. That's not necessary. Here's all of my different playlists. Here's my Stella Hip Hop Songs playlist that we just did. You can do things like add an image to create, a little bit of your own branding. You can take that URL and you can share that URL in an email. You can put that URL into your social media. You can do anything you want if you wanted to share your music. You can add tracks, very similar to how we do it on the front page. You can take those songs that you've built. You say, well, I want to make sure that Ice Cold is actually the first song they hear. You can literally just drag and drop songs to whatever position you want within the platform. And then when you send that URL, that's the order that people are going to listen to your music in. But I want to open up Party With Me here for a moment. So what's cool is as I'm opening up this song, and it has a ton of information that's already in there. For example, this is what I was showing you here. It already determines the key. We see what instrumentation is there. We see the time signature. We see the BPM. I didn't do any of this, by the way. This is all stuff that our AI learns. But here you can see all of the different playlists that this song appears on. So you can actually track everywhere where a song has been playlisted, that you have playlisted. One of the things that we're working into Hyperaudio is that when your music is discovered through a search, that is also going to show up on that side as well. Here's a couple other things I want to show you that are really cool. This is all part of our AI, and this is really important for you to see how this is all working with respect to how music is getting discovered through Hyperaudio. So this is all data. I did not put this in. When your music is uploaded, it's automatically analyzed and it's given all kinds of information. For example, you can see here the content is, well, we know it's music. We can see that it's high quality. We can see that the mood is happy. We can see that the mood is positive. We can see that the energy is high. We can see that there is no energy variation, meaning it's always sort of the same level of hype. There's no BPM variation. You can see that there's vocal instrumentation. You can see that the vocal presence is high, meaning it's audible. And you can see that the vocal gender is female, right? Very, very important things, because we're determining and discerning as songs are being uploaded the caliber and the quality of the actual demo itself. So you want to make sure that the stuff that you're uploading is high quality, so that when it's discovered in Hyperaudio, we want to make sure that they're getting the best experience possible, so that when someone finds Rick's song, that they're going to go and license it right away. So I'm just going to close that. I wanted to show you something else really quick, because this is one of my favorite things about just how MDIIO itself works. And then we're going to, I'm going to find this song called Is Love Enough to Save the World that I wrote here. I'm going to open up this song because I think what's important to see here is on this song, which you can also do in MDIIO, it's not hard at all, I'm going to show you how to do it right now, is you can track all the different versions of any song. So you might have the demo version, then you might have the full version, and then you might have the TV version, and then you might have the instrumental mix. So you could track all of these things. If you could see here, what I've done is I have Is Love Enough 11.6, Is Love Enough 11.7, and Is Love Enough 11.8, right? So I want to make sure, for me personally, that when they're listening and discovering the song, that they're listening to the most recent version of the song. So I can just choose which becomes my default audio in a search and discovery. So if I say wanted to make 11.6 my default audio, I click that button, you're going to see the waveform is going to change. And then that becomes my default audio. In this particular case, my default audio is set to 11.8. Of course, here's all my track collaborators. Here's all my playlists, all of the lyric searches and everything as we've already shown you. Oh, there you go. So it's now flipped it to Is Love Enough 11.6 is now the default, but I'm going to flip it back to 11.8, and you're going to see that waveform is going to change in a minute. Oh, well, I guess it's a similar waveform. I'm going to go and answer a couple questions. So that is essentially MDIIO in a nutshell. I want to show you a couple quick things that I think are really crucial to how this platform works. One is our projects page. So I'm going to go and open up our projects page for a moment here. This is where from time to time we will post projects and partnerships that we have with music supervisors looking to discover songs. The process is once you pitch a song to a project on Hyperaudio, just so that you understand the process, that then gets listened to and evaluated by our A&R department. Our A&R department will then choose the songs that best suit the particular project, and then they will pass that project on to our partners. So for example, we had fun celebratory music needed for Pride promo video. We had music needed for media company promo video. But take, for example, we'll just use this one, Feedback Friday, Songs for Sync. So actually, this is a good opportunity to talk about Feedback Friday. Feedback Friday is a way for our community to pitch music to professional music executives, A&R people, music supervisors, to get feedback on their songs. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? If you've not tuned in, we do them on Facebook, and they're usually a lot of fun. This is taking a moment here. A little bit slower than I'd like. I feel like there might be several people on the platform. We've had quite a bit of growth in the last week. Just doing a quick refresh here. In the meantime, I'm going to answer some questions here because I see there's a whole bunch. Let's see. I have a few. Question. For best audio quality, can we upload waves or is 320 MP3 enough? Yeah, we support MP3, so make sure that you do that. And I'm going to tell you a big reason why we do that. As you guys know, I'm a songwriter and a music producer. By offering MP3s, when a music supervisor chooses to license a song, they're going to request high-resolution audio files from you. That gives us an opportunity to come back to you and say, hey, we have a request for high-resolution audio files. Can you please send those in and provide those as soon as possible? It's actually a great way for us to maintain transparency with you, to know how and when songs are getting licensed. So we made a very deliberate effort to do that intentionally. Another question here. Question, how do the sync fee, A, get agreed to with the client, and B, what are the splits both upfront and back end? Okay, that's a great question, Jet. So the first answer to your question is the license fees that come in from our partners are commensurate with any other license fee for a similar use. In other words, and just so that you understand the scope and range, which I know that you're a professional, so you do, you could have a license that goes the same song. I've had the same song licensed for $250 and for $200,000. That literally is the same song in the same version. It's really based on the type of usage it is. So if it is, for example, 15-second usage in a sports highlight clip on a local news broadcast, that might be $100. If it is a Samsung ad that's going to run for a year, all media, that might be $150,000. It's really all relative to what the type of usage is. The next question is, what are the splits, both upfront and back end? Great question. So Songistry, MDIIO, which is our company, MDIIO, takes 20% only of the transaction fee. We take no back-end participation. If you were to go on and make $1 million in performance royalties, we don't take a penny of that. On top of it, we are completely non-exclusive. So if you have had any experience with libraries or song pluggers that represent your catalog, you'll know that they'll take typically 50%, 50% of all revenues, and in many cases force you to actually do sometimes retitles, meaning retitle the songs so that they're always getting their royalty sent to them. We only take 20% and only of the fee. Simply stated, if we get you a $100 placement, we take $20, we send you $80. It's very, very simple. And as Jet can acknowledge, that is that's pretty transformational. And again, like I said, there's no back end. Dave Merkel says, how long does it take till all my tracks have been analyzed by your AI, or is there a way to initiate it? That's a great question. The music is automatically analyzed as you are uploading it. So there's actually nothing for you to do. There's really literally nothing for you to do. Depending on how busy the queue is, sometimes it could be as quick as a few seconds. Sometimes it could take a little bit longer depending on how busy and how many songs are being analyzed in and around the same time. the next question here. David Leask asks, with Hyperaudio, is it the same as a regular pitch to projects whereby you let us know what the deal is first, or is it automatically licensed? So when you upload your music to MDIIO and then therefore make it available on Hyperaudio, we have the right to non-exclusively represent your license on your behalf, meaning that the other things that you don't have to worry about is you don't have to worry about paying maybe a lawyer to do your deal. You don't have to worry about paying a manager any commissions. We take care of all of that for you. So we do have the ability to license that music on your behalf. Think of us as a resource for doing this work for you for only 20%. And like I said earlier, David, if you heard my answer, we do our best to make sure that the value of licenses is commensurate to what they would be doing with any other company. The goal is not to create cheaper licenses for everybody. The goal is to create licenses where it's better for a music supervisor finding music and more money is staying in your pocket. I did get a question directly. So the question is, this is a great question, Steve. Thank you for asking this question. The question he asked is, and he sent it as a direct message. I'm not embarrassed, you guys. My whole life is out there, so you can send it in the open chat too, no problem. But Steve's question is, I've tried adding collaborators and it looks for an existing member. What if the co-writer hasn't joined? Fantastic question, Steve. Thank you very much for asking this question. I'm going to go right back to it here. Then I'm going to come back and hit more questions. I'm going to reshare my screen. So let's say, I'm going to skip back off of this. We already discussed this. So let's say I want to add somebody as a collaborator on the song, or Jesse wanted to add a collaborator on this song, right? But let's say I can't find my collaborator. I'm going to make up a name. I don't even know. We probably have them on platform here. Let's see if Rick Barassa is a member. Rick. Let's go with Barassa. There we go. Oh, there he is. Look at that handsome guy. Exceptional beard, Rick. High quality beard, facial hair. I'm jealous. Well, I'm not going to add Rick because Rick is already on platform. But let's say he wasn't. I go to invite, and that's it. I invite my person. I'm just going to pretend it's Rick Barassa and Rick at rickbarassa.com. I'm sure that's not right, but whatever. I'm not going to press send. But when I press send, I've now added this non-member as a collaborator. In fact, what I've also done is I've sent them now an email that says, hey, Justin Gray has invited you as a collaborator for Who Says You Can't Be Good. So it's actually a benefit for you to send that to your collaborator because now you can actually track all of your collaborations in that same way. Next question from Steve also came. When you submit to projects, I assume that it is a human choosing which songs will forward as long as opposed to the AI. So we did discuss that. When you are submitting music directly through MDIIO, through the projects portal, as you saw, that does go to our A&R staff. They then go listen to it, and then they go and determine what are the best songs that then get forwarded onto our partners. I want to be quite honest with you guys. Look at this as if we are a partner that's out looking for your best interest. Yes, part of you might say, well, they should just forward every song. It is not in your benefit for us to forward a song if it doesn't fit with the brief of the music supervisor. I promise you, I've seen this backfire 1,000 times. Just because you think it works, if it doesn't work, we don't want to send it to them because it's a waste of their time. And then all of a sudden they're going to say, oh, Eric Ingalls sends us the wrong music. We're not going to go listen to it. By the way, I'm not suggesting that Eric would, but I'm just using you as a point because I just happened to see your name and this is the next question that I'm answering. Eric Ingalls, is there any negotiating, especially on the back end? Well, again, like I said, the back end belongs 100% to you. So for example, you might license a song to, I'm making this up, to, let's not make this up, to a show called $1 Billion Idea. We just literally placed close to 200 of our members' pieces of music in this show that is airing tonight on Fox Business. The licenses themselves are not particularly high value, but there is public performance on all of these songs. So the public performance might be worth 1,000, 1,500 songs on a 30-second snippet of a show that gets played over and over and over and over again, 5 times a day for a week. So again, as I said, we don't participate in that. That is all of your revenue. So you have to make sure that those songs are registered correctly at your PRO. Jean-Luc. Do we still need to be registered with a local PRO, or does Hyperaudio remove that? No. You need your music registered with your PRO because they're going to collect all of your public performance. That's very, very crucial. Hyperaudio is all we're trying to do is connect you with somebody that wants to license your music for a fee, and we take a small piece of that success. We take what's called a success fee from that transaction. That's it. Otherwise, there is literally no cost to you guys to use Hyperaudio at all. Kevin Johnson says, should we make songs downloadable? Completely up to you. I personally, here's the good thing. When every song is uploaded to MDIIO, there is a digital watermark and a date of upload of that song. Now, that doesn't formally mean that we are copywriting your song. We're not. But we can definitely prove that there is a distinct and specific date of when that song has been uploaded. So if for whatever reason there were to be some copyright infringement, you could say, well, the song did at least exist on this date. I hope that answers your question. But if you want to make a song downloadable, by all means, I'm a big believer in the more opportunity, the better. But if you are, make sure that your metadata is complete because all of that data is embedded in that song when it gets downloaded. Whitney, thank you, Justin and MDIIO team, for teaching us how to use this platform. I'm amped. Fantastic, Whitney. And if you don't know her, Whitney and I have become friends recently. She is a redonkulous vocalist who is really an exceptionally bright talent. And so, let's all support Whitney. So thank you very much, Whitney, if you're still here. Oh yeah, there you are. I see you. Thank you very much, Whitney. So I want to get back to showing you guys a couple of other things here as we get this moving here. I think that we've given you a pretty good sense of what to use. Actually, in fact, I'm going to show you one other thing that I think is really crucial to building up your network here, and then we're going to move on to just a little quick demo of Hyperaudio. So if I go to my network here, you can see here we have a whole bunch of different layers and levels of people that are part of my team. That goes all the way from people that are on my team, right, to people that are my publishers, to people that have that are part of my network, and then to people that are, of course, ultimately my collaborators, right? And so I want to show you something really cool. So I'm going to go find Rick, for example, because Rick is right here in front of my face here. And I really like typing Rick Barassa. I'm going to go look him up. There he is right here. I can now add him to my team. I can add him to my network. I can send him a message, or I can even view his profile. Now, I can't do anything. I could just go see what songs he's made available publicly. But I'm going to go and add him to my network. Yeah, I'm going to confirm that. So now next time Rick logs in, he's going to see Justin Gray would like you to join his network. So again, just a kind of a fun way to connect with people, fun way to go find people. If there's somebody that is not on the platform that you think should be, again, boom, really simple. Invite new user, exactly the same thing. If you want to pull people in, by the way, I would love it if, as a thank you for giving you this for free, I'm asking you to go add 10 collaborators. Simple as that. All right, good deal. So that's kind of the overall with the way that MDIIO works. I don't think we need to go super deep into some of the other ways that that you can get into a deeper use. This is A to Z. Maybe we'll do another like MDIIO part 2 that gets into a little bit of a deeper use case. I'm going to add, I've seen another question here from Jesse. My current publishing deal covers the world excluding Canada and the US. Do I need my publisher's permission to have my songs placed via Hyperaudio? That's a great question, Jesse. So the answer is yes and no. We can represent and license those songs for you in Canada and in the US. And we're working on being able to represent you fractionally. So for example, I'm represented by Downtown Music. They're my publishing partner. They're my admin partner. My songs are available on Hyperaudio. It then becomes my responsibility, if I were to procure a license, to then inform them of that. That's all. It's really simple. Think of this as like a lead generator for you, right? It's really as simple as that. And I just realized my camera's off. You guys haven't seen me this whole time. There, that was my hello look. How boring staring at that other picture, hey? Here I am. I feel like I'm now, my hand has disappeared into the background. So the answer is use this as a lead generator, Jesse. And then if we were to go and license for you, you just need to inform your publisher. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. And again, so just to put a little bit of perspective into why we built Hyperaudio, and I'm going to kind of show you how that works in a minute, is I was getting tired of my publisher going, oh, yeah, this is only a $1,500 license. We don't want to do that. No, do that. This is all money that is on the table and available for us. We should be taking advantage of that if it's there. And you know, $1,500 licenses is pretty good. And I'm going to add one more thing to that. As you guys know, or if you don't know, you should know that just because the song is licensed doesn't mean that it can't be licensed over and over and over and over and over again. The same song, I've had the same song licensed 24 times. That is the beautiful part about licensing music for film and TV. You get to own it, you get to keep it, and you get to license it over and over and over again. So I don't know if there's any other questions as we're doing this, as I'm moving on into Hyperaudio to just show you a super quick demo. I'm seeing a lot of LOLs. Thank you. I have been known to make people LOL from time to time. So can't help it. All right, I'm going to go show you how Hyperaudio works because it's really, really fun. I'm going to share this. So if you guys haven't gone, I think it's important for you to know and understand how music supervisors are discovering your music. So they will go to hyperaudio.com and they can search for songs in the same way that you can search to build your database. They can search the same way. They might say, I want to find rock music, right? And I can do that. They might say, I want to find female music. They could do that. They might say, you know what? I want to find, for whatever reason, music in the key of C sharp. They can do that. I don't know why they would. That seems like an oddly specific look, but I don't know. Maybe they might want to do that. So that's cool. That's fun, whatever. But the really fun way of doing this is I'm going to go to YouTube, and now I'm actually going to stop my sharing just in case there's any incriminating evidence on my YouTube page. I'm going to go say, I want to, actually, we just did this search for somebody. Let me go see if I can find it here. It was, what was his name? It was Brian Eno. And it was, here it is. I'm just going to do the search here super fast. Where are you guys? You're here. So we were in a meeting, and they were specifically looking for a Brian Eno song that I'm just trying to see if there's one. They're all like so long here. Here's Brian Eno Stars, right? Okay, whatever. We'll just use that here. I'm going to open this up for a moment. I'm going to copy this link. Oops. Hold on. I don't know what this is, but so we'll have a quick listen in the background. I'm going to take that link. You get the point. I'm going to take that link. I'm going to copy and paste it into Hyperaudio. Let that operate in the background. It's what this is now doing is analyzing this song, applying all of these cool sort of like AI metadata components. I'm going to listen in the background. If anybody feels like, I don't know, zoning out to some Zen massage therapy. Okay. I'm going to go back here. It's now still analyzing the song. Usually takes, the first time it analyzes, takes between 10 and 30 seconds. In the meantime, I could talk about this page a little bit. What happens is in real time, these trending artists actually get updated. So the more you get searched and discovered, you then can become a trending artist. Other things that we do is we create recommended playlists based on our AI algorithm. So we have the reggae vibes out, we have the classic Latin playlist, we have summer grooves, and we have electronic. And we're going to start reaching out to our community more often to have you start populating these recommended playlists. So when you start seeing posts in MDIIO or getting brief searches in your inbox to say looking for summer smashes or summer records for our next Hyperaudio playlist, submit to those because we want those songs to be put into these playlists so that they can be discovered. Okay, so you see that we've now analyzed the song, the Brian Eno song. It's now going to go back through our database and find all of the music that best and mostly resembles that song that we just listened to. Now, again, I didn't put, it was Brian Eno, right? But I didn't put ambient, dark, I didn't put sad, and I put literally nothing except for I copy and pasted a YouTube link. So let's go listen to Solemn Mornings, Maps for Sleep. By the way, just the name sounds right. I mean, that sounds pretty bang on, you guys. Here's another one, Soma, right? Actually, that one's even closer, right? That one's even more precisely what I want. So I can do a couple things. I can say, well, I want that Brian Eno, but I want to add ambient as a tag, right? So now I've created this whole new set. Now I'm trying to show you from the music supervisor's perspective how they come in and use Hyperaudio. So let's say they go, ooh, yeah, Soma, that's the one, right? We've already just played that one. So they go, perfect. But you know what? I want a playlist that is only songs, only using that. So we're not even using Brian Eno anymore as the reference point. We're going to use Soma Metalark as our main reference point of the song, of what we're looking for. And now I've created this whole playlist of music that is specific. I mean, this song's pure Zen. We have to listen to that. We have to see how close that is. One moment. I mean, guys, listen. If you're opening up a massage therapy studio, you definitely need to come here and find all of your music because I think we got it on lock. The point is, so once a music supervisor goes and discovers all of this music that they love, they do two things. They go tick, 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 and they can create a playlist that they're now sharing. When they share their playlist, all of the owners of these songs will get notified that their song has been discovered and shared in a playlist. But here's what's cool. There's 1, 2, 3, by my estimation, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 different artists that have all been discovered side by side. I think that's incredible. So then let's say a music supervisor hears a song, and I'm going to go back here for a moment because they'll get a playlist that looks similar to this, except it's not classic Latin. It'll be whatever they called it, Zen playlist. And then let's say they go, ooh, I want to license Porque Sera. I want to license this one. I want to license this one. We then go and create this this request quote. Once we do the request quote, this page comes up, and that immediately goes to our licensing department, and we can then facilitate that license for you on your behalf. And again, we'll then give you a notification, hey, Jesse, we need high-resolution audio files for the following song, and then it's incumbent on you to get that high-resolution audio files, those high-res audio files back to us as soon as possible. So that is how Hyperaudio essentially works in a nutshell. Again, you want to become a trending artist. So let's say it's again, you're Rick Barassa. Just because these are the only faces I'm seeing on my page right now. You want your name, Rick, to come up here, so I can click on Greg Pear and go search for Greg Pear, and then come up and find all Greg stuff. Like that's, and I don't know if you saw, but that's how fast it is. So as we're having trending playlists, we've had over 10,000 searches just in the last week alone of people that are coming in to look at Hyperaudio, to seeing what we're building, people poking around. You want to make sure that you're trending. Why are you trending? Because you're uploading and because you're getting discovered. So I'm going to stop my share right there. I see more questions here. This is totally rad. I agree, Jet. Thank you very much. Couldn't agree more. Steve, you keep texting me directly. It's fine. I'm happy to do it, but I'm just going to put you on blast and just tell everybody what you're writing. I'm handsome and smart. Oh, yeah, thank you. I agree. No, that's not what he said. He said, awesome, thanks. Talking to AR Thursday AM. Going to try tomorrow to click the right things. LOL. You're going to sweep the indie artist. The 20% will pay 100-fold in volume over time. I agree, you guys. And I really appreciate that Steve has said that, because I am a songwriter, and it makes me nauseous to think that songwriters are giving up 50, sometimes 75% of their potential revenue because somebody is going to pitch their song and send it for them. I think that's absurd. I'm completely, it's appalling and completely unnecessary. And so that's why, A, we wanted to make sure you knew that this was free. B, we wanted to make sure that you knew that this was non-exclusive, and we only participate if we win. So that simply, if you win, we win. There's no other situation where that doesn't exist. Jesse, may I ask a question by coming off mute? Yes, Jesse, you may.
Thanks. I'll be quick. It's just hard to explain on text.
No problem.
Can I use the Hyperaudio search box to test how my music is being found? So for example, if I have a song that I've uploaded that I think sounds like the latest Maroon 5 song, can I take the Maroon 5 song off YouTube, plug it in the search box, and see if my song comes up? And if not, fiddle with my tags to see if it will show up.
Well, your tags, the custom tags that you put in don't have an effect on the search. We did that very specifically and on purpose, and I'll tell you why. Because what you might think is indie rock to somebody, which might mean Jet, could mean indie rock to somebody, which might mean Radiohead. So we wanted to make sure that there was a way to calibrate how music is found and discovered. But what you can do is you can create your own playlists on Hyperaudio with your own music, the same way that I went and discovered Greg Payer, right? Or Pager, I don't know. You can go and create and share your own playlists through Hyperaudio as well. Same thing to your, to your social media or whatever. Now, there might be an advantage for you to want to do that because you can then go and create a licensing tool for yourself directly. So if you were to create the Jesse Weeks playlist, you can then have licensing buttons right next to it, and people could go and license those songs directly from, I don't know, a Facebook link or whatever. But good question. Great question. By the way, you guys, if you're feeling like, oh, it'd be cool if it did this, just ding me with an email. Be like, oh, I tried it. Would it be cool if it could do this kind of thing? We like to collect ideas from you guys. It doesn't mean that they'll get immediately integrated, but sometimes people come up with great ideas and we would love to hear them. So if you feel at any point like there's something that we could be doing better, let's go. But I will say that, we've had a phenomenal growth in the last couple of weeks. We've had incredible conversations around Hyperaudio with major, what we call it, sort of power licensors, people that are going to come in and find and license music. So we see this becoming a very, very activated platform very, very soon. So we're excited about it. Any other kind of questions as we kind of get ready to wrap this up for the day? We can allow you to open up your camera if you wanted to speak too.
I was just asking whether there was a risk that if someone has a lot of context, is there a possibility that someone can influence the trends on Hyperaudio that way by having sort of like someone, having a lot of people just kind of push the songs up in some way?
I see. I see what you're saying. What you're saying is it possible for the algorithm to be manipulated to force somebody to pop into a trending artist? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing if that were to be. I would really want to meet that person because we currently have several thousand songs on the platform. But again, I wanted to just reiterate, the trending artists is cool, but we are going to be very, very actively pushing the highlighted playlists. So for us, the highlighted playlists are about finding the Catherines. I'm seeing because Catherine's right in front of me, right? Finding the Catherines and the Kathleen's and the Vickies and the Lindas and the Jean-Lou's to be able to focus them and feature them on these playlists right on the front page. Again, no cost, free. We want to make sure that if we're putting up like, I don't know, the green guitar songs, I'm just saying that because you have a green guitar, that we want to make sure that you're on that green guitars playlist, right? Like we want to, so I would say very, very, it's very important that when we're posting playlist, playlist briefs in MDIIO that you submit so we can get those up and in front of people. So I wanted to just kind of bring up a couple things here. Another question. If we pitch via Hyperaudio, do we get notified if A&R team then forwards to the client or not? So that's a great question. Every single time your song is discovered and playlisted, that then gets sent back to you as data. So you would know, for example, if your song was part of a playlist of 5 songs, right? And then someone listened to that playlist and said, ooh, I like these 2 songs and that song, and you were still one of those 2 songs, they would be creating a new playlist with your song. So you would be notified that that song has then been shared. Within MDIIO itself, if you were to pitch within MDIIO itself, we would track all of your pitches and we would know when they're open. So I'm going to show this really quickly to Jesse, you guys. This is something that I was going to kind of sort of save for, I almost said shave, maybe shave. This is something that I was going to save for a little bit more of an advanced demo of MDIIO. But when you go to pitches, you can actually track where your music has been sent and whether or not it has been active and whether or not it's been opened. So I don't know if you knew this. So if you're going to pitch a song, for example, I could see here that I pitched 3 songs to the workout fitness song search, and I could see that it was played 3 times, and I could see that it was in fact opened. I could see, for example, that this one here was not opened. This is like crucial information for songwriters to know whether their music is even being listened to. So again, this is a little bit more of an advanced usage, But then let's say you go, oh, I want to make a playlist of my summer songs. I could just go create playlist created. Really, really simple. It's super easy to kind of jump around and build. And we can get into a deeper use of MDIIO and how that works at another point. So yeah, appreciate it. Jean-Loup says, just to say, everything I've heard is so far is really exciting and makes me want to write more music. Oh, I love hearing that, Jean-Loup. Thank you so much. Please write more music and make sure it's good, because then you can buy more green guitars. By the way, I'm jealous of your green guitar is really what this is all about, quite frankly. On Pitch's screen, what does active mean? That's a great question. So I'm going to go back to that and show you guys. So Eric is asking a question. On the Pitch's screen, you can see certain pitches are showing that they're active and certain pitches are showing that they're not active. Typically, active pitches mean stuff that I maybe have pitched to somebody individually. An inactive pitch is, for example, a project that may have been posted that is now no longer active, meaning you can no longer pitch to that project. That would mean that it's an inactive project. I think that answers your question. Perfect. Any other questions, comments, thoughts as we get ready to part? Oh, Kevin, is there any quality control on the quality of the songs included in the catalog? Well, as you saw, part of the AI analyzes the quality and the level of the recording. Like, we can't determine if a song is crappy or not, but we can certainly determine if the song is of high recording quality or not. I hope that answers your question. Another one from Jesse. By the way, you're not asking too many questions. It's all good. Keep asking. It's all good, buddy. On pitch page, does opened mean opened by MDIIO A&R, or does it mean A&R team has pitched it to a client, the client has opened it? That's a great question. It means that if the song has been submitted to a pitch, that song has been then listened to by our MDIIO A&R team, of which I think Danny is still on this call. There she is. And then at that point, if a song gets passed through, two things happen. One is she will acknowledge that a song, thank you for receiving the song. It'll be in consideration. If a song has then been passed to our partner, our music supervisor, whoever we're working with, then there will also be an acknowledgement that the song has been shared accordingly. So if a song makes it through, you'll know. If a song doesn't, also you will know. Again, I want to just remind you, I'm a songwriter. I'm a producer. There's nothing that I hate more than silence. It is the worst. And so we want to make sure that we limit that as much as possible. If you feel like there's been a song that's been pitched and you haven't heard from us, please feel free to reach out. Jean-Luc, can we upload library music as well? Of course, 100%. 100%. Upload whatever you feel like you want to give us on the platform to help you represent. Okay, Asaf is asking a question. We're gonna have to shut it down in a moment here. Asaf's question is, I've heard many times that supervisors don't accept pitches from individual musicians, but only from sync agents, publishers, and music libraries, not just because of the vetting and quality control, but also because of any potential legal issues, sample clearing, etc. How does MDIIO Hyperaudio establish trust with supervisors in this regard? That's a great question, Asaf, and I can answer this question. We're not pitching to them. They're coming to us to find music. It's a completely different, it's a flip on the traditional practice of pitching songs to them. So we've built trust by them understanding that this is a platform that is meant to help them search and discover and license music. And so when they're coming to us, we're not pitching, they're pulling. It's a little bit of a different concept. As opposed to push, it's pull. I hope that answers your question. And with regards to samples, yeah, obviously we don't have sample detection built in yet. That is part of our plan and our strategy. But right now, I would not suggest pitching music with samples. And if you have samples in your music, and by the way, I wrote this literally in the blog last week, getting samples from Splice is not samples. That's completely usable and clearable. Don't worry about that. It's like, if you wanted to sample Stairway to Heaven and put that in a song, that's a problem. So I would definitely suggest you have versions of songs, if you have samples, to have non-sample versions of those songs. In other words, do bounces without those samples included. Catherine, music about books. I think that's a statement. I'm not quite sure what it means, but that could be a perfect. Well, that was a good question. Asaf says, oh, nice. Asaf says he's got no samples at all. It was no worries. Just thanks for the answer. But that was a good question regardless. Thank you for running me through my paces, Asaf. We are going to leave it here unless there's any last minute questions or comments. But otherwise, I wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you very much to our team, Kevin. Thank you to Chelsea. Thank you to Danny. I see you over there. Thank you to everybody here that is a part of our community. Thank you to Sarah. Everybody here that is a part of our community, we're grateful to have you here. Please start using it. Please start spreading the word. Be patient with us as we get this and grow this and make this bigger and better. If you feel like you have any thoughts or cool ideas, please let us know. And we may have already thought about it, or maybe it's something cool and fresh that we hadn't thought about. I'm again going to put my email address in here.
Also, make sure to follow us on for Hyperaudio and MDIIO on social media.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that.
To follow along with all the cool stuff we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and we also do a lot of other cool things. Like we do, if you haven't been able to notice, we do things like we want to do featured artists. We want to make sure that if you want to be a featured artist, we want to feature you. Thank you very much for putting the Instagram, the IG, and the TikTok, and the all of that stuff in there. Twitter too, all of that. If you want to be a featured artist, please let us know. If you want, we want to see you as engaged as possible and help us build what it is that we're trying to do here. So thank you all so much. Greatly appreciated. Have a wonderful, wonderful few days. And in I guess it's just really 2 weeks, we're going to see you at our MDIIO U event with Kiana Conley. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic day.